Hello, visionary CEOs. I'm Yolanda K. Churchwell, the CEO's fractional COO, and I am so excited to kick off this new series. Well, I kicked it off last week, this new series called Breakthrough Growth, the Systemized Path to Explosive Profits. As many of you know, April is Financial Literacy Month, and so we wanted to take a moment and make sure that this month we are focusing on how visionary CEOs can make sure that their operations and their finances are aligned. So we want to talk about last week's blog. If you did not catch it, make sure that you go back and get it. But this is 5 minute your 5 minute quickie. So many people enjoyed them last month that we just kept keeping them going. So we want to talk about how aligning your operations with your financial strategy is the key to unlocking explosive growth in your business. Okay. So let me be very, very clear. If you are struggling with scaling your business or you're hitting a plateau, it's because your operations are not aligned with your financial goals. You need to make sure that there's some alignment between those two things. Okay. You can't expect to have super profits to skyrocket your profits without first building that strong foundation, your strategy, your SOPs, and your systems that will support that growth. Okay. We've talked about it many times. You don't want to be existing in a place where it's like a game of Jenga, where if someone pulls out that one block, your whole business crumbles. All right. So let's talk about what you need to do, the three things that you need to do, and then I'll give you an actionable step as always. So first, you need to get ruthless about your revenue streams. And by ruthless, I don't mean, cutthroat, but you do need to take a hard look at your current income streams and figure out what's working, what needs some fixing, and what needs to be thrown out. Those are your three. Separate everything you do into what's working, what needs some fixing, and what needs to be thrown out. Sometimes you are trying to do something that just does not work. That's where you need to be ruthless. You need to cut it. If it was an employee, let's use an employee in the same scenario as a service offering. If you had an employee that was doing well, that's an employee that works. If you have an employee that's having a few problems, you're going to work with that employee. You're going to get them the professional and the personal development. But if you have somebody who does not show up to work, when they show up to work, they're not doing the work, you're not going to keep them. That is the same thing for your service offerings. If your clients are not signing up for that, if they're not telling you they don't need it, then you need to get rid of it. Don't just have something because, oh, you built it. Okay. Build it and they will come. It's not a thing. We've talked about that, a field of dreams. So if it's not contributing to your profit margin or growth, then it's either time to rework it or it's time to move on. That doesn't mean that you move on forever. That could just mean that in these current market conditions, that's not an option that's going to work. Okay. All right. So scaling is about making sure you have the right revenue streams, not just any revenue stream. Second, you want to make sure that you do align your operations with your financial goals. What do I mean by that? I mean that your operations actually drive your profits, period. Operations drive profits. So if your operations are not set up in a way that it will maximize your profits, then your profits will not be maximized. You're going to be working harder than you need to. You're going to be at risk for burnout, at risk for your business failing when you don't need to. So you need to align your workflows, your teams, your tools, all of the things together so that they create a nice foundation, a nice soil that your business can grow from. Is that making sense? All right. So you want to make sure all of your processes are streamlined and efficient. You want to make sure that you're not working hard, you're working smart. And then once you have your processes in place, then that's when you're going to be able to make sure that your systems support your revenue goals and you're able to free yourself up to focus on scaling and not firefighting the daily task being in the operations, the weed of operations. That make sense? All right. And last but not least, you need to invest in a sustainable infrastructure. Okay. When I say infrastructure, I just mean your processes and your systems, your SOPs and your systems. Okay. Scaling is not about hiring a bigger team. It's not about just adding more tasks. It's about having the right systems in place so that your business can run like a well-oiled machine. Having the right systems means that you have the right processes. Processes come before systems. Processes are how you do what you do. Systems are finding a way to do what you do easier. If you're not clear on how you do it, how can you figure out how to do it easier? Okay. So you need to make sure that they support your processes and systems support your growth so that you don't burn out and you don't introduce chaos into your business. All right. So the three things are: you want to get ruthless about your revenue streams, you want to align your operations with your financial goals, and you want to invest in a sustainable infrastructure. Bottom line, if you want to unlock explosive growth in your business, then you got to get strategic. You've got to get out of the day-to-day running around in the weeds, putting out the fires, and you've got to become a visionary CEO where you can look at what is going on and be able to plan today, tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, a legacy. Okay? The easiest way to do all of this is to partner with someone who has the expertise to help you implement these strategies. In this case, I'm a little biased, but I say it's me. I am the CEO's fractional COO. If you have been at six figures and you're trying to figure out how you get to seven, if all of the things you've been doing them and you're just not seeing the growth that you need, if it seems like it's taking you more time, if it seems like you're starting to get frustrated and overwhelmed, but you know that there's a way out and you're looking for that way out, you've joined the coaching programs, you've hired the virtual assistants, you think you have the team in place, but it's just not working the way that it needs to work, then let's have a conversation and figure out where the problem is, where the bottleneck is, so that we can get you to that next level. We're not just out here starting businesses, we out here maintaining, sustaining, growing, long-lasting businesses. All right. So this is where a fractional COO comes in. You don't have to figure this out alone. So let me help you streamline your operations. Let me help you get your SOPs. Let me help you put your systems in place so that you can make sure that you are aligning everything up so that you can have the growth and be able to reach those financial goals that you've set for Q2. We're at the beginning of a new quarter. Okay, so let's take some new steps. We know what didn't work. Now we're moving on to what will work. We're trying out some things, but you don't have to learn every lesson on your own. Okay, so if you're ready to make 2025 that breakout year, that breakout year, then I want you to take the first step today. I want you to take my Am I COO Ready quiz. Okay, I'm gonna drop in the link. I'm gonna drop the link in the chat so that you can take the quiz. It's Am I COO Ready? It's going to allow you to see where you might need a COO in your business and what that COO will be able to bring to the table. All right. So this is going to help you, give you the clarity so that you can scale your business with ease and without overwhelm. So I hope that you got something out of this. If you did, make sure that you share it with a friend. Make sure that you subscribe to my blog and make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I'll see you in the next 5-minute success story. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.